Flosstube. It's Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche. I'm back for an update video. Today is Friday, April 10th. It's in the afternoon, and I've got quite a bit to share with you. For those of you that are returning, thank you very much for the support. I've gotten lots of great comments and suggestions over my last few videos, and I really appreciate that. If you're new, welcome. I am going to talk about cross stitching primarily, with my, other crafts maybe sprinkled in along the way. Not much today other than cross stitch. Update, it's been a busy week. I have worked a lot during the week, whether it is coursework or textbook work, and then of course my shop, Jen's Stitching Niche. Mississippi is under a stay-at-home order, so we are home. All four of us are home all day, plus the cats and the dog and the chickens. And it has been extremely, extremely relaxing, honestly. I love it. We stay home all the time for the most part. Hobby particularly, he has several health issues, so he has to stay home. We do not need him getting sick. But I go out every day because we have a post office box, so I go check the mail and I drop off orders from my shop as well. Other than that, I went grocery shopping once. But I'm a homebody. I love it. I get a lot of outside time walking around, checking on things, and I've just really enjoyed it. I have, actually, how many students do I have now working for me? 10 students that work for me as tutors or learning assistants in my classroom. And we have a Zoom meeting every Thursday. And they're very social. Thus, they want to be tutors or they want to be involved in helping students during class. So they love interacting with people. And I'm like, how are y'all doing? They're like, it's horrible. We're just so, we can't stay inside much longer. And I'm like, I am loving every minute of it. And they're like, well, you've got that farm to walk around. I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes a difference. They're in apartments in town, so they have to stay. They're struggling. Some of them not as much as others, but they're ready for a little bit of freedom. So, plus they're separated from all of their loved ones. Most of them did not go back to their parents' house. They're at their apartment, so they're going to be all right though. Let's see, what else? Classes, they're going. We're making it. Some of my students are amazing. Some of my students are showing their true colors. Let's just say that. But today is the first day where one of my classes has major writing assignments due, and that's what I've been answering emails about today. Things that I've been telling them that's in the syllabus, and they're emailing me, asking me, questions that should have been asked months ago. But that's okay. It's just this and the questions answered. So, let's see. Other than that, I've been pretty content. Oh, let me show you my t-shirt. I'm wearing my Garon tote bag t-shirt. So he sent, Gary and Ronnie sent this to me from Galleria because I wasn't able to go last year. So they sent it from, Teresa brought it home to me. So I'm wearing that. I'm going through my closet. This, quarantine time has been really good because it's allowing me to kind of go through things and decide what I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of. And right now I'm going through all of my t-shirts and I'm wearing them. And if I like the way they feel, I keep them. If I don't, when I take them off, I put them, or I wash them, and then I put them in a stack of things that's going to Goodwill. So I haven't worn the same t-shirt twice since this started back in March. So every day I'm wearing a different t-shirt. Because I'm a nerd and I love checklist type things. I guess that's it for update. I'm ready for cross stitching. I've got quite a bit to share. So I'm going to show you my main focus piece, the results of my quarantine stitching last weekend, and my plans for quarantine stitching this weekend. And then I've got some other things to share. So my main focus this week has been the same as the past 2 weeks, and that is Summer at Cherry Hill by Brenda Gervais. And I am so very close to a finish. All I have left to do is the 17 rows of green at the bottom that makes up the grass. So right above that upside down row, the letters, the row of upside down letters, that has to be all filled in with green. But isn't that beautiful? Love the colors. So pretty. This is stitched on something 40 count. I don't know. I think it's silk weaver. And I'm using mainly the called for threads. I have had to substitute. If I don't have it in my stash, I don't want to start any, go buy any more or go get any more out of my shop. I'm trying to use up threads that I have because I have a whole bunch of Victorian Motto and I have a whole bunch of limited edition Gentle Arts because I used to get the sets when they would have them from Teresa. When she would bring them back from market, I would always get the sets, and I need to stop. I need to use that stuff. Okay, so next thing is the progress from last weekend. If you're not familiar with what I'm doing, my quarantine weekend stitching is each weekend I select 7 projects from my WIPs and I focus on those 7 projects. Mainly stitching in the evening because I'm doing other things during the day. But I stitch on a project while I watch a Flosstube video, and when I finish that video, I switch to another project. I stitch in hand, so it's not a big deal for me to switch from project to project. So I know that can be an ordeal for people who use frames or Q-snaps, but I stitch in hand, so it's easy. I just pick up the next project. And sometimes I watch a video that's 30 minutes. Sometimes I watch a video that's an hour and 15 minutes. So it just depends because I pretty much let the YouTube pick what I'm watching from my Flosstube subscriptions. So some get more work than others. I use my Tiny Decision app to select the projects that I'm going to focus on. And this is from most of my WIPs. Now I have 60, I think I have, let me see. I have it in my X-Stitch app. Right now I have 64 WIPs that are in play. And so I select from most of those. Not all of them are on the Tiny Decisions app. And so it selects these, and sometimes it selects the same project weekend after weekend. I think that's a sign. All right, so last weekend I picked 7, and I did get to stitch on all 7 of them. I actually had a couple of finishes. So first up was Turkey Dressing from Raise the Roof, Teresa Vanette. And when I showed you this, I had the line, that hat, and then a small portion of the tree. I worked on it for maybe 30 minutes, and I finished a little bit more of the tree. Not much. Okay, so it got a little bit of focus. And that's stitched on, I think it's 32 count lamb's wool, some of my old fabric. When I showed it to you last week, it was on a big piece. Once I got to the bottom of that tree, I was able to cut the bottom, and now it's a little easier to handle. My second project was from Barbara Anna. It's one of her Halloween pieces, and it's October 31. And I focused on this part right here. So when I showed it to you last week, this base wasn't completed. I didn't have anything here. So I only worked on it for one video, but I did get the vase completed, the stems in, that little orange motif here in the corner, and then that tiny little mouse. Isn't that adorable? And I started this star over here. But I just love it when you get that much detail in that few of stitches. Barbara Anna does that, and Teresa does that too. She has a Christmas, what is it, the Christmas Land piece. she has a Santa in a sleigh with reindeer, and it's like the fewest number of stitches ever. I'm always impressed with that. Next up was a Mill Hill kit. It was one of the Jim Shore Santas. This is Christmas Spirit Santa. I started this during the Jolly July last year, and I filled in that stocking. That's about it. But I'm stitching this with 3 strands, so that's different. I'm not used to 3 strands, and that is one of the things, going from stitching on 40 count to 32 count to 14 count perforated paper. Sometimes that gets a little annoying, but it is what it is. Next up was the gingerbread mouse from Just Nan. I love these little mice. I'm trying to get all of them in her collection. I've got a pretty good number of them. I've got to call Marlene at Cross Stitch Peddlers because she's my supplier most of the time. She has them, and then Katrina has them. And I finished the stitching and the beading, so she is ready to be put together, which shouldn't take very long. Look at the detail. I mean, that's a lot of different colors, but it's really cute. And I stitched this while I was watching Homesteading on the Home Front, so when I look at it, that's who I think of, Lynette and Little One. And then make sure that stays with that. And then my next project was from the Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornaments 1999, and it was the Christmas bird from Birds of a Feather. So it's a double-sided, and you just sew it together to make it a 3-dimensional ornament. And I finished it. Isn't it cute? Of course, last weekend when I showed you this before, I just had the white to do on each side. And then I think all this, see how there's all these little dots, dark red? That's supposed to be beads, but I stitched it with just darker red floss. So that's 2 finishes that I got done last weekend. Woohoo! All right, let's see what else. And then last, the next one is Merry Christmas from Samplers Not Forgotten. Oops. So it is in the 2015 issue. And when I showed it to you last, I had like maybe 6 stitches, and I got MERR. And this is just a piece of, I think this is 32 count, but it's from Teresa. When she was dyeing fabrics, she was doing some swatches to try out some different colors, so she gave me some of the swatches. All right, and then one more project, and I was so excited about this one that some people commented that I should focus on it, put it in my focus, and that was Thistle Stitches from Jeanette Douglas, which I am excited. And I did get some stitching done. It just doesn't look like much. I stitched that over one part, the thistle. And when I showed you this last weekend, I think I only had like this much. So I added all of that, which I think is a lot of stitching for one episode of Flosstube. All right, so that was my progress last weekend. And I've used the Tiny Decision app, and I've selected projects for this weekend, so I will show you those. And I'm using it, the Tiny Decision app, and it's supposed to be random, but look what happened. So where's my notebook? I'm unorganized here. Here I am. Okay. I'm going to show you. These are the projects that I'm going to stitch on this weekend. And look what's at the top. Magic Garden, day 9 of the 12 Berries of Christmas. What does that say? Glad Tidings Santa, so another Jim Shore Santa. Lady Liberty from Blackbird Design. 12 Days of Christmas from Satsuma Street. Day 11 of the 12 Berries of Christmas. And then Martha Agnes from Stacy Nash. So I don't think I have them in the right order, but I'll show you what each one looks like. So Martha Agnes, sampler roll. I've been working on this for a while. And she needs to be done. And that's my progress. So this is stitched on a piece of 32 count pecan pie from Silk Weaver. And I'm using mostly the called for, but I am substituting some things as well. So pretty, pretty. I like the colors. That is a pretty fabric, but that's not the color of pecan pie anymore, I don't think. Okay. So that one will get some attention this weekend. This Magic Garden. I've been whining about this one. But I've worked on it for 2 weekends, and now I'm going to work on it again. And that's my progress. So I need to put the last 3 flowers here, and then fill in this part, and then over here. There's a little carrot in here, and then this mushroom needs its little stalk. So closer to a finish every time I stitch on it. That one. Okay. Next up, these are not supposed to be here. I should be organized. I will show you. These are the 12 Berries of Christmas from Erica Michael. And I am working on this weekend berry number 9. And that's where I stand now. I just have part of the rug done. Let's see. And then I'm supposed to work on day 11. So I've got one piping down there. Got 10 more to go. So that's 2 of the focus pieces for this weekend as well. And then one of the Mill Hill Santas. This is Glad Tidings Santa. And I started him in Jolly July. I probably worked on him 1 day, if that. Not even a day. I probably worked on him for 1 Flosstube video. So a lot of work there. Lady Liberty. This one. I started this as a Sal with Gary. And I said that we should call them Stitch After Gary, a sag. So that's what it's going to look like. And here's my progress. I'm stitching this on Liberty Gathering Grade from R&R. I think it's 40 count. And that's as far as I've gotten. But it's fun to stitch. Now someone stitched it and they didn't do the top. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I love the side. I'm not too keen on the woman up there. So I think I'm just going to do this part. So whoever that's doing that, thank you for the idea. And then my last one is, what is this? Oh, Satsuma Street, 12 Days of Christmas. Stitching them all as one piece. And I'm supposed to be stitching one of these a month so I can get it finished by Christmas. That's where I am. This is a piece of 40 count Silk Weaver. I did get this in when I was in the Silk Weaver Fabric of the Month. This is 40 count Blush. And I'm just using DMC. So I will work on the, what is that, 3 calling birds? No, what is it? 2 turtle doves. Isn't that right? I don't want to sing it to figure it out. Y'all don't want me to sing it either. All right, so that's my progress. I mean, that's my plans for this weekend. But I'm adding one more thing, because if you've been watching Lori from Mischievous Stitches, she was showing a bunch of her whips, and then she was doing stash dives. She's got all kinds of great videos out right now. And in one of her videos, she showed a stitch along that she and I started 2 years ago during Mania. And it was the Birds of a Feather from Blackbird Designs. So we're gonna start working on this on Fridays. We're gonna call it Friendly Friday and work on our stitch along. So that's where I am. I'm using most of the call for threads, but I am substituting, like I've said on my previous, projects that I've shown. If I don't have it in my stash, I find something to substitute. And the way I do that, when I stitch, let me get the charts off of here. I have this clipboard that has a notebook in it. I love these things. When I do retreats, the exchange boxes at Katrina's retreats, we always include our favorite stitching tool, and I always include one of these because I love, this is my absolute necessity for stitching because it sits in my lap, it holds my chart, and then I can take notes. Okay, but also on this clipboard, I have this printout from who's this? Stitches and Things. They have the conversion for Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts, their DMC conversion. And I have that, and when I don't have a thread, say I don't have Adobe from Weeks Dye Works, I go and look at what is the DMC. I pull that because I have my DMC, that double-sided DMC tote that we all got from Hobby Lobby. I have that by my stitching chair. I pulled that out, and then I compare it to my basket of over-dyed threads to see if I can find something to substitute. That's how I do my substitutions. And so that way I'm using what I already have in my stash instead of purchasing something else. And if I don't find anything that matches, I just use the DMC. So, what was I getting to? So I'm also going to work on this today. So I'll probably stitch on this mostly tonight. All right. Now, future plans. I have a very strong feeling that I will finish that Summer at Cherry Hill by Brenda Gervais this weekend. If not by this weekend, I'll have it finished by Monday, by Monday. So I need to know what my next project's going to be. So when I was doing my week 4 quarantine cross-stitching, I went ahead and said, okay, what are my next 3 focus projects going to be? And so I did the random number generator, and this is what I got. So after Summer at Cherry Hill, the next thing that popped up was Magic Garden. So it's going to be gone. And then after that, Thistle Stitches. And then after that, I'm going to work on Basket Full of Spring Time. So that's another Brenda Gervais. And I just had it. So this is my last planned project, is to work on Basket Full of Springtime. And I'm stitching this on, I think this is 36 count. I don't know, maybe weathered shingle. But that's as far as I've gotten. But when I finish this, I will have all 4 of these pillows completed. Let me see, do I have those here? Yeah, here are. That's the Wintertime. What is it? Basket Full of Wintertime. Here's Basket Full of Summertime. And I thought I had all. Yeah, there's the last one. No, this is. Nope, that's not Basket Full of anything. This is. I have no idea. Be something. But here's Basket Full of Summertime. And I thought I had all 3 of them. I mean, the other 3 done. Maybe I don't. You want to see what I'm digging around in? This is my basket full of finishes. So I've gone through this before. These are different finishes that I've shown in past videos. Just put them all in a big basket together. What is this one? Do y'all remember the name of that? It's not Basket Full. I think it's like Be Grateful or something like that. I don't know. Okay. Now I've made a mess. So everything's falling out of my basket. Nicholas, when he was a baby, a toddler, when he would want my mom to go with him, he would call her purse a basket. And he would go, "Come on, Mama, get your basket." And then she was supposed to get her purse and go with him. So, and she did, because we all do what Nicholas tells us to do, apparently. All right, so 25 minutes, and I've still got some things to share. I'm going to show you my mania plans. All right, got to pull up my notebook again, because I am a super nerd. I love lists. And I've kept up with my Stitch Mania for years. So here's my 2016 Stitch Mania plans. And you can see that my plan was to do 17 starts, but I did not. I only did 14. And of those 14, I still have one that I haven't completed, and that's Brooks' book, Spirit of Oz Santa. So he's still in the list. 2017, I had 17 starts. And, well, actually, I only had 16 starts, because I still have that Brooks' book, Spirit of Santa. I kept him, and then I started all these others. And look who's on that list, Thistle Stitches. Maybe I can get that done in April. 2018, I did 31 starts, and I traveled a lot during this time, and I took them all with me. It was ridiculous. And 2019. So here are my 31 projects that I worked on last May. And the way that I do this is what they call the Blimey Cat method, where if you have something that is a carryover, you stitch on that. But if you finish that project, you get to start something new. So if you look at that, all that highlighting the lines through it, that means I'm finished with those projects. And at this point, that gives me 17 new starts for this mania. So I've got my list blank. And what I'm going to do at the end of April is I'm going to go in and add things. If I haven't finished it, like Cooper, we'll go right there. If I have finished it, I get to add things. My plans this year were to only start projects that were 100 by 100 or smaller, 100 stitches by 100 stitches or smaller. Believe it or not, I have done absolutely no new starts this year. No, I'm a liar. I've done one new start because I did an exchange and I had to do a fair and square. So I did that, finished it, and mailed it off. So other than that, I've done no new starts. I've only worked on my whips. And I think I've had like 14 finishes so far. So I'm very proud of myself. I am doing Mania though. I'm going to do the Mania like I've done the past 3 years, where I am doing the Blimey Cat method of stitch on the project that I started in a previous Mania if I haven't finished it. If I finished the project from a previous year, I get to start something new. So in this little purple bag from Weeks Dye Works, I have a whole bunch of possibilities for Stitch Mania. So what I'm doing, and this is so funny to me, Kindred Stitcher, Lisa, I love her videos, and I think she is one of the smartest people. And when she says something that I've thought, I'm like, oh, I'm as smart as Lisa. So she was talking about Mania, that she was thinking about doing a kit Mania, and I'm like, me too. That's what I want to do. So that made me feel really good. But I'm doing kits. If I have, I have all these kits. So if they're 100 by 100 or smaller, they got put into this basket or bag, and that's what I'm going to use for my Stitch Mania. So first up is the Rose Bouquet Kit from Samplers Not Forgotten. This was released this year at Market, and I love her kits. They're just really cute. Comes with everything, including the finishing material. So I just got these in my shop. I don't have a lot of them, but I do have some of these kits. So that's a possibility. Sweet Finch, also released this year. It's a complete kit. also a possibility, and I love that. That bird is so pretty. We have lots of birds outside right now. It's so funny. But we also have, you know, I keep talking about my hawks. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? I don't know what was going on. I told my husband, I said, it sounds like there's a rumble going on back there between the crows and the hawks, because they were making all kinds of racket, and you could hear them kind of. We have a swampy area behind us, and they were going up and down through the swamp. The crows would chase the hawks, and then the hawks would chase the crows. I'm like, there's some craziness going on. All right, back to possibilities. This is Jeanette Douglas has this series of pattern pretties that comes with the thread and the finishing fabric. I just have to put the actual linen in there, but it's just these patterns, and you stitch them over and over again. I think she has like 19 of them. I have these in my shop as well. I do have some of them left. I want to keep them all for myself, but I can't. All right, here is a scissor fob from Shepherd's Bush. It's a complete kit. It's two-sided, but isn't that adorable? And I think I have the scissors. I go to, this is from Cross Stitch Peddler. You can see on the price tag. I go to Cross Stitch Peddler, and I always get the scissors and the fob if she has them, because I want to be like Mama Joan as well, because she's like the coolest. I want to be like her. Sheepish Manor from Chessie and Me. This was a market release. And I have quite a few Chessie and Me. I don't know if you can see any of them. I may have moved them, or they're probably on the bottom shelf. But I love the Chessie and Me stuff. Oh, right above me is a little open, one of those paper mache books that's open. And that's the Queen Bee book. It's really cute. Let's see. This is another Shepherd's Bush fob. Queen of my little something. I guess I could pull out the chart and tell you what it is. This is another fob that they made for the scissors. And it is the 2016 scissor fob. It says Queen of My Little Realm. Oh, that's cute. But it's a complete kit. It comes with the finishing supplies, the threads, the linen. And I think I picked up the scissors from Marlene as well. All right, some Just Nan. No, from little Lizzie Kate. Here's Halloweeny. I love her Halloween stuff. Again, it's a kit. Just have to add the thread. Lizzie Kate Pumpkin Pocket. And I think these are still, you can get some of these through 123 Stitch. So if there's any of these that you're looking for, just check with 123 Stitch. This Shepherd's Bush, it is called Hunt. It's a little Easter. I think I got that from a freebie table. Oh, this is exciting. I love this. This is from Satsuma Street. This was a release at Market. It's a little kit for the Pumpkin King Nutcracker. I have these in my shop too. But it's a complete kit, and it's on perforated paper. This is a limited kit that Teresa gave at Katrina's retreats. Let Your Heart Be Light. So I have to add the fabric. Oh, I can't. I'm definitely going to do this one. This is Little Witch by Shepherd's Bush. I have looked at this one. I think Teresa has it stitched, and she used to have it in her shop. And when I saw it at Cross Stitch Peddler, I'm like, oh, I want that. So very cute. Sage Snowman from Shepherd's Bush. Again, it's the complete, all of these are kits. Candy Cane of Christmas from Bent Creek. And this is on a higher count. Well, not a higher count. It's on 18 count linen, but you use the pearl cottons, which I like doing that. Home of a Needleworker. What is this? Squared from Little House Needleworks. Came with the floss. I just have to add the linen. Here is the chart pack or the kit that we got at the, what was this, 2018 Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat from Teresa that I haven't done anything with. I will maybe for Mania. All right, we have 3 more. This is another Samplers Not Forgotten. This was from last year, I believe. I'm not going to say it. It means wild pansy, I think. And it is a complete kit. And I have these next 3 in my shop, if you're, well, the next 2. And then this one. Is that beautiful? It's kit. And then this one I picked up at the Primitive Stitchers Retreat when I went to their mall, their the shopping. And it is from, who's this? Honeycomb and Threads. It's called Honeybees and Blooms Drum. And it again is a kit. I think I have to add the linen. No, the linen's in there. But it's really cute. So those are my possibilities that I'm going to choose from for Mania this year. I did get this today. I can add it to the possibilities because I signed up for the Dying to Stitch, one of their kit clubs. So this is the Pineberry Lane Kit Club. I forget the name of it. Is it Quaint Lady Stitching? I just got this today. So that goes in the possibilities as well. All right, I think that's where I'm going to stop today. I'll do a stash dive on my next video because I think 37 minutes is long enough. 38 minutes now. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is a shop update. So real quick shop update. Very exciting. Right before I started recording today, I got a package in the mail, and it is the new charts from Stitching with the Housewives. So Priscilla and Chelsea's charts are going to be available at different shops, including mine. So if you're interested, Jen's Stitching Niche on Etsy. But yeah, they're really, really cute. Will be real fun. This one. The truck series is going to be a really cute idea. So, all right. Well, I'm going to end it there. I hope you all have a very good weekend, a very nice Easter weekend. Hope it is calm and peaceful. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.